the first installment of Inside IU Volleyball with Sherry Dunbar. I'm Dave Leno, exclusively for IUHoosiers.com. Throughout the 2010 season, this program will feature interviews with Coach Dunbar and members of the IU Volleyball squad. You'll grasp how Indiana remains reputable in one of the NCAA's most elite conferences, the Big Ten. From match analysis to scouting reports, you'll get an in-depth view never before revealed. And now it's only fitting to start the series with the maestro herself, Coach Sherry Dunbar. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Dave. I think this is going to be really exciting for our fans to see a little bit more about our program, to meet some of our players in person who are fantastic, and just learn more about IU. We love it here so much, and what is going on in athletics. And so I think this is just another way maybe to talk to our fans a little bit more.
And we'll talk about that on an exciting note. We'll start with this past weekend. The Hoosiers took the Courtyard Marriott Classic in downtown Atlanta, defeating Georgia Tech 3-2. We'll start with that matchup, and what a way to begin the season.
Yeah, it's nice to have our first installment and going 3-0. It was really just a great environment to play in at Georgia Tech. They've done a fantastic job there of getting fans to come out and supporting them. But for us to succeed and stay composed and to fight so hard in that environment, I thought was unbelievable to start the season off. You know, and to have a high-level volleyball match for that first matchup, I think was really what we had all been hoping for.
Then it was a quick turnaround the very next day. You played Alabama at Birmingham, won that 3-0, and then you competed against Alabama A&M, the only team that you saw last season, and that was an opportunity for you to mix some newcomers in too.
Yeah, Lindsay Interline, who's played basketball here, as you know, got a chance to see the court for the first time. Melanie Hicks, who's one of our freshman defensive specialists, had the same opportunity. So it was really nice. Everyone played this past weekend, and I think there's nothing like game experience. So the ability to be able to play them throughout the weekend, I think, is only going to help us as we go through the rest of the preseason and enter the Big Ten.
In the end, Ashley Benson was the tournament MVP. She finished with 40 kills and a hitting efficiency over 400. And how do you think Ashley's approaching this year, her senior year, the first IU All-American in volleyball history?
Well, I think Ashley has matured a lot, not just playing-wise, but as a person. And to see her playing this past weekend, you could really see the determination more in her eyes. The ability to carry more of the load on her shoulders, and the fact that she likes doing that, I feel like. There's nothing more gratifying to see her to look at Mary, who's our setter, and say, give me the ball. You know, so that kind of confidence, I don't think we've seen in Ashley in the past. I think she's always been a great player, but now to burden that of carrying our load of kills and blocks a lot of the time is something that I think she's taking on willingly, and is one of the best players in the country. So there's nothing more fun than to watch her be successful right now.
And she works cohesively with two other captains that the squad recently named, Taylor Whitmer and Caitlin Cox. And you really saw that come to fruition, especially this past weekend, because, and we talked about this many times in the broadcast, it was a quintessential total team effort.
Yeah, Taylor had a great weekend, really. We've been working a ton with blocking. We've changed to a swing blocking, which a lot of people don't really know the difference of, but it allows us, with the type of athletes we now have in our program, to use that athleticism a little bit more. And we had, I think, a season record or a school record in blocks in a 3-set win against, I believe, UAB in the morning. And Taylor was a huge part of that, and she's just worked really hard. I really liked Caitlin. I thought Caitlin really stepped up this past weekend. We had a long discussion, her and I did, about finishing 6th in the Big Ten every year, and that she's a better player than that, and she's a better leader than that. And I think now that she has some great defensive specialists right on her tail, forcing her to be a better player, and now with her being named captain, I feel like she's going to step up to the plate and not only become a better player, but help our program be better.
And you saw a lot of newcomers in that matchup. One of the reasons, not only are they performing on the court, but also some injuries. Can you elaborate at all for us on an update with Jade Henderson, Whitney Granado, and Sam Thrower?
Well, you know, volleyball is a crazy sport. You wouldn't think you would have concussions in volleyball as much as, you know, obviously you think football and all the concussions, but we had a couple during the preseason. And so we're just now getting those kids back. Lindsay Interline had only practiced 2 days before we went to Georgia Tech. Whitney Granado will hopefully be full practice by Wednesday, which we're really excited about, to get her back. and in that setting competition. And then Jade dislocated her thumb, which, you know, bummer. But she handled it very well. She's a great fighter, and we're trying to find a way to put some sort of a club cast on her hand. And we've seen it done before, and let her the opportunity to get out there and play some. So, you know, and Sam hopefully will be back in a couple weeks. So, you know, I mean, that's part of sports. That's part of high-level competition, is you're going to have injuries. But, you know, when you're coaching at this level, you just hope that you have the depth and the athletes that will step up. And in the end, it gives other people opportunity to help the program out.
Second weekend of the season on tap of the IU Adidas Classic. You'll start off on Friday night at 7 p.m. against Arkansas State, and on Saturday at 12 o'clock against Illinois State, and finally a primetime matchup at 7:30 p.m. against North Carolina State. Big understatement to say it's a tough weekend.
Yeah, it is a tough weekend. I think two new coaches out of those three. Two of the teams went 3-0 over the past weekend. One of them went 2-1. So I think they're going to come in with confidence, and they're going to be excited to come and play Indiana, a Big Ten team. It's a great weekend for IU in general, with football and men's soccer, and I believe women's soccer. So, you know, it's really nice to have a lot of sports at home, and we're hoping to get that support. I know it's camper reunion night. We had a great camp season over the summer with about 600 campers coming in, so we're hoping a lot of those come to the match. But, you know, just to play in our home environment that we train in every day will be really, really fun for us to step out there on Friday night.
That's going to do it for our first installment of Inside IU Volleyball with Sherry Dunbar. As a reminder, all those matches will be played at University Gym, located at 10th and the Bypass in Bloomington. And if you can't make it out to the matches, all of them will be streamed live on iuhoosiers.com. On behalf of Coach Sherry Dunbar and our videographer Kyle Johnson, I'm Dave Leno. Best wishes, everyone.